what's up, everybody? Welcome back here for another episode of YGOU University. I am Michael. I am followed here by my co-hosts,
Alex,
Kevin,
and Bryce.
And we're here to give you guys some knowledge, to share a few laughs, and have a good time. So with that being said, Alex, how was your week of Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, on Tuesday, I cashed in the briefcase. I don't remember what it's called. The Money in the Bank briefcase.
Hell yeah.
You took the money to the bank.
Yep. And I played round one against Ryan, the former champion.
Yeah, I was about to say,
spoiler alert.
And I won this sick red belt. Yep.
Nice.
In a Salmon Great Mirror.
And a salad mirror.
So everything went according to plan.
Yep.
Wait, when you cash in the bank, do you get to go first too?
No.
That would
have been, yeah. But I won the dice roll. And I drew 2 hand traps.
Hell yeah. And you drew Gazelle.
Yeah,
Probably.
pretty much.
Yeah.
You didn't even need that card.
It was Lady Deepak, so yeah. It was
You
Gazelle.
drew Gazelle.
And then how'd you finish at the tournament?
2-2. My deck was teched to fight a Salmon Great Mirror. I said, yep. I said I came here to play one match.
I came here to play one man.
Were you main decking Super Polys and?
I main decked Super Poly, and that was pretty much it. And then I sided Chalice because I knew the last time I played him, he was playing Sanctum and Foul to make a Abyss Dweller. So I sided in Chalice. But then he told me afterwards that he took out his Sanctums. So I'm like, all right, man. You got me.
But it went according to plan because he won it off of the GOAT tournament, right?
Yeah.
And so you were like,
I was
I'm
just
not
gonna
playing
wait
in the
till
GOAT tournament.
Yep.
Don't have my chance there, but I'll play him in regular Yu-Gi-Oh.
It just so happened that it was a GOAT tournament, too. I was just not going to try.
Well, it's
anyway, no matter what it was.
To be honest, Ryan was like prepping for that tournament for like a month ahead of time. He was like, he was buying cards. He got everything ready, and then he won. And I was just like, that makes sense.
I feel so bad for him, honestly, because he tried so hard to win that one tournament, and you just swoop in there.
Yep,
but he knew.
I kept going over to his apartment to play test against Bader. And he would be like, they just get done playing GOAT, and I'd be like, all right, Bader, let's play some advanced format. And I just learned a bunch of grind scenarios.
And then in the meantime, you were like, what's Ryan doing over there? It's on the floor looking at some cards.
Tossing his salad.
You're just like, I'm gonna grab his deck and pick
No. I did ask Jeremy the night before if there was anything cool about his deck, and he told me he wouldn't tell me.
I mean, that's good on both ends.
Yeah.
Might as well have asked.
So it sounds like you had a good week.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, what about you, Kevin? How'd your week go?
Well, my past 2 weeks, so I went 3-1 in the GOAT tournament, and my only loss was to Ryan, who won. And then I went 3-1 this week, too. And I only lost to Xavier in the Salad Boy mirror match.
To Xavier?
Yeah.
My boy Xavier.
Reynolds, yeah. So, it's
Tomato, tomato.
Xavier,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
I lost because he had Drew Super Poly game 2 and 3, and I was just like, darn, yep, you're going to get me with those.
X2. That's his name. That's
Oh, my gosh.
He's just going to be X2 because he's the second X, and also he only goes X2.
Dang.
Wow.
Dang.
You
hear that?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
You hear that, Xavier?
That's coming from
I don't even
Call
think
to
constant 9th place,
Yeah,
Bryce Troy.
That curse is long gone. I have a new curse this week. It's not relevant to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just break cars when I touch them.
Yeah.
Because I broke my car, and then Timur broke his leg or something. I don't know. And then I drove him around in his car. I got in. His window broke and his seat broke right when I sat down. And my dad took me to go look at new cars. And then on Tuesday and then yesterday, he's like, my car broke down.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
So, like,
I wonder
don't
if
let me in
it'll.
your car.
What if it even extends to like buses and trains and stuff?
well,
Public
thing they don't
transportation in general.
Just anything.
I can't even get on my bike now. Shit.
Bryce is on
Better
a
not
TSA
fly,
list.
man.
He's on a no-fly list right now. They just put him on. The government's listening in. They're just like,
Well, I better get this shit fixed quick because I got a plane flight in like 3 weeks. So like,
you're on the no-fly list now.
Do you see a psychic? You might want to check in on someone that knows about supernatural.
But
Go to like your reservation
just
and
roll
take
the
like a
dice again.
spirit journey, like a spirit walk.
what?
Like go to like a reservation with like Native Americans and just like do a bunch of peyote to go on like a spirit journey.
I actually want to do like some spiritual shit, but that's off topic. We'll get back on topic now. Hey Bryce, how was your week in Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, honestly, it wasn't the greatest. My car broke down. Some weird shit happened. I don't know, so I didn't get to go on Tuesday. But I was thinking about new decks I want to play. They got this new Duelist Power shit coming out, or came out, and like reprinted Necros. So I was like, I want to play that. So I've been testing it online a little bit. And, like, playing, like, some low-ranked dueling book. And, like, you know, I was expecting to face, like, some Thunder Dragons or whatnot and just be like, wow, I can't play. But instead, I play, like, almost Thunder Dragons. I played against, like, 4 Trick Stars, which is, like, it's like getting Colossus, but instead they just kill you.
It just hurts.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they're just, like, double Licorice pass. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I like get a cool hand, and I'm like, activate my ritual spell. They're like, reincarnation. I'm like, oh.
We gotta roll the dice.
I didn't get rolled once. So that was sick. But
Yeah, you search a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even
That's
have
a
more
bummer.
new search cards, like incantations.
Those are bad because you take damage now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was pretty fun, though. I still beat like 3 or 4 of them because they're still playing Trickstar.
Yeah,
Like, I
you
still
trish
trish
them.
them.
Yeah, if you
They're
trish
like,
them, it's
I
over.
got Licorice, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, it's 1,200 defense.
The coolest thing they can sometimes make is Borreload, and it takes like usually their whole hand.
That's how I lost the first, or the one I lost to is because he just drew Scapegoat twice. And I thought about Exciton Knighting because he was playing like the Trickstar with the Sky Striker, so he ended with like 10 cards. And I thought about summoning Exciton. I was like, I don't even need to. And he had 1 card left and it was Scapegoat, and he's like Candina. I was like, oh fuck.
I played against Trickstar this week.
You beat him, yeah, because it's bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah. Unless they're playing the Orcus stuff.
That deck
He
won
lo-
Worlds this year because of the
Trickstar?
Worlds format. Yeah,
Oh.
I watched that match randomly yesterday, and it was a bummer. It was Trickstar versus Altergeist.
And you were just like, this is so lame.
Yeah, they were both just playing traps and stuff, and
I feel like Worlds is always like that.
yeah.
So, McWill, how was your week in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Bought some dual power.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I pulled some cool Necros cards, a bunch of ultra rare stuff. You know, because everything's like ultra rare.
Yeah, I don't like
got
that rarity, but...
An Impertinence. I think that's the card name, yeah. I got a Ghost Bell. I got a Boral Sword.
Value on the
I got
Ghost Bell?
some neat stuff. I already got rid of it.
Fuck. I was going to offer lower because I live in Omaha.
I traded it to Doug so Doug could finish his playset. So it's like I traded it to you by proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug lets me borrow stuff, so...
He traded it to
Nice.
Bryce 2.0.
Dude, Doug got mad at me in the tournament.
0.9.
Oh yeah, for being a shark or whatever.
Yeah, he
Was
called
it when
me
you
a
were playing
shark.
against John?
No, it was when I was playing against him.
Oh, I
It was
didn't.
just-
Oh, yeah, I did leave for like 2 hours.
I was playing a control deck, so you're not allowed to mess up and take shit back. So I told him that no, you can't take that back, and he's not gonna learn to try to not make mistakes if he just gets to take them back.
He has to
Hey.
be punished constantly.
Speaking of takesies backsies, I think that takes us into our first topic of new tournament policies.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And how
nice.
apparently there's a new tournament policy of no takesies backsies, even though that's always been a thing.
Yeah, it's
They
pretty
just had to
much.
clarify it.
Wait, I didn't see that in the
So
news.
it's about the clarification of cards. So what he's talking about is like if you played a spell card that doesn't have a target in your deck, you don't have to show your opponent. The card just doesn't resolve and it goes to the graveyard.
Oh,
You
it doesn't
can't.
go
You
back
can't.
to your
Yeah,
hand?
because how it would be is illegal activation. Check my deck. I can't use it. But now you don't. It's like you're trading because if you're fighting like some savant who knows basic details of everything, then they can just guess what your hand is after looking at your deck.
Yeah.
So you're trading that for losing your spell card for them not to get to know the rest
Well,
of your
I
hand.
100% did that all the time with Nobleman of Crossout.
Yeah.
If like you Nobleman like a Morphine Jar and they're like, I don't have one, you're like, okay, let me see your deck. Let me make sure there's not one in there. And you just like riffle through their deck and you're just like,
Yeah.
Nice hand,
what
Bert.
one ofs aren't in here? And then you're just like, oh, okay, now I know what your hand is.
So how does that work with like if like nothing's on the chain with it, it's like pretty self-explanatory. But like think about like if you have like the Mech Knight purple dude and like you activate his effect and then you're like, oh, I'll chain to like
because he needs you to get multiple names is what you're talking about. So if you don't have enough kind of thing.
That's the blue one. The purple
Oh,
one.
Okay.
It's like I was playing against like some dude online and he activated it and then I was like, oh, chain to like destroy it, but then he negated my card or something. I don't know, but he didn't have a target for it, so I would have never played that card in the first place. So like in that scenario, how is that resolved? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's not an illegal activation anymore.
Right.
So
I think you just got baited.
like
yeah,
that-
it might like that's one of the downsides of a rule like this is that it goes towards the spirit of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is that you just do what your card says, and if you can't, then you don't. Like, that's what for Mind Crush it is like because you call the card, and then if it's in their hand, you just discard it. Nowhere on that card does it say check your opponent's hand for that card, but like the rules just kind of let you do that before. So, I think what Konami's trying to do is to move the policy towards like the spirit of like doing what cards say, but then. You're right. It would lead to problems in like specific scenarios, but I guess you just let your judge handle what happens and
Like, let's say I activate terraforming, and I don't even have any field spells
like
in there,
you just
and then
didn't
they
check
ash it.
like you just didn't check your desires pile before you played it. Kind of thing.
So then you just terraforming, and then they're like, I'll ash it, but then you actually didn't have a target.
Yeah.
and
Feels
so you're
bad.
like, nice.
Yeah, I feel like that those situations would literally be just decided by a judge. Like the judge would be like,
So
like because you could call
but
a
it was
judge
not
over.
a legal activation now, so you can technically just play it. So that's what.
Right. It's just
Weird.
kind of like
I think it's just gonna go based off the judge that
yeah.
gets called, and at that point, then
'Cause
it's
it-
just like
It
Well,
is
but
like
it's a
mean-
wild, wild
situation,
west
too.
situation again.
How would a judge get called in that situation? Because like you don't know that they
If
don't
you're-
have a field spell.
If you're the player that ashed
Right.
them, yeah, I guess I don't know.
It
'Cause
just
then
kinda-
it just fizzles and they don't even look. So then they're like, cool.
I think
Yeah.
it's
You
like
know, like-
Konami putting too much faith in
And the player.
honor of players, and
I
it's
mean,
kind of
We
like
ain't
And
Ned
we've
Stark.
seen
It's
the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
And Ned
It's a-
Stark got his head chopped off, so like definitely don't want to do the honor system. Like,
and we've
fuck.
already seen how
Yeah.
scummy people are with just a simple time change rule.
yeah. I think that's the main reason. Like another main reason for this change is that it also says in the policy that you can't call or that you're not supposed to call over a judge like on a Mind Crush to like check their hand for you, and that's like to save time because there's not like a really good way for you to hand out extensions to everybody that does that. But an upside of this like weird change is I don't think it comes up that often
No.
because it would only come up on search cards pretty much because like
Yeah,
a good way to use Mind Crush is to just wait for them
to add
to have
it.
100% hit.
Yeah. So you,
That's-
And if they're like, I don't
that's how
have
that
it, you're
dude-
like,
That's how
definitely.
Bowden lost to Worlds was that he did a blind Mind Crush and had to discard his multi-faker. He just had to read.
failed to read.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fail
I feel
lines.
like it's just gonna make Ash Blossom worse
No, I
because you
just,
can bait it out. So you're just like terraforming, and then now as like the
Right,
player
but
that
most of
has
the
Ash.
Scenario.
it
Well,
depends
right,
on
right.
what
but
you're
I mean,
playing
still,
against.
but then you're just like, does he have? Then you start counting their field spells. You're just like, they might have one. All right, Ash it, and then there's like, nice, play this other card
But
now.
if they knowingly play it without a target, is that cheating?
Technically,
Maybe
not
soft
anymore.
It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah. It's
So like, there's no way to prove that they don't know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just like a couple weeks ago when we were talking about like that French guy not being able to talk to his team for YCS Atlanta.
There's gonna be a couple victims of the rules.
Shit.
That's how
It's
it
just-
goes.
Yeah.
The cookies got to crumble some way.
Did you see the other new rules where they events
Nose-
can? Oh, there's
No stinky.
that one.
You can't smell anymore. Like
yeah,
it's a rule.
it's like the judge can ask you to correct your
Hygiene.
whatever your about your physicality is like making you smell. Like if
I
it's
didn't
your
read the
dirt,
fine
like
print
if
on
it's
it.
your dirty clothes, or like like you just seem grimy. They can
What
be
if
like
it's some
take a shower or you're disqualified, and then they're like, to their hotel.
What if they have portable showers? They
Is
bring
it-
portable showers
Oh my
to
God.
tier 2 events now.
What if,
And a washing
I'm gonna
machine.
buy one.
And a washing machine.
Does the rule
Plug it in outside.
specify
I'm
like
gonna
odor, or is it just
charge
anything
people
about
to
the
take
person?
showers.
It's about
In-
making it a
Outside.
pleasant
It's
environment for
so
everyone.
close.
So I feel like it's
So
a you know it
close,
when you
too.
see it kind of thing.
Yeah,
Odor.
I feel like there's gonna be one judge that's just like goes to all these girls and he's like, "You're wearing too much revealing clothing. This is a children's card game.
He gives them like a parka.
Need you to go and change into something
Those
that's
convention
appropriate."
centers could get really cold. That would be nice.
You
So
know,
it's just like, here you
if
look
someone
cold.
gave me a parka, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll take
You
one.
best believe.
But you know what I mean?
I'll
Like,
take it.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be funny. Oh, the card ordeal of the traveler. Nobody plays that card, Tam.
Can I read you that card?
The
Sure.
trap card, with the one where you call a card in their hand, and if you call it right, they discard it. If you don't,
Negates the attack.
oh right.
Puts that monster back in their hand.
Oh. The attack doesn't go through.
You don't have to show them that you call the right thing anymore.
Another card that gets
Oh my god.
another card that gets biffed.
I got spell. Put it back.
Again. Well,
Interesting.
Is that really how that works?
No. The way the rule is now is that you just do what the card says. So if it like
Says
if
reveal.
you have to reveal, then it's reveal. So like cards that say check your opponent's hand or something like that would still let you. It's just that specifically Mind Crush doesn't say anywhere on it that you look at their hand, so they don't have to confirm. Right. Oh, okay.
You can activate this card.
You can activate this card's effect when your opponent's attacks. I can't do this.
Your opponent randomly selects one card in your hand and calls the type of the card, monster, spell, or trap. If your opponent calls it wrong, the attacking monster is returned to the owner's hand.
So for the
Yeah.
viewers, we're talking about Ordeal the Traveler
Ooh.
and how you on the card it
Oh
doesn't
my
specifically
God.
say to reveal, so you can just be like,
I don't know.
So you can
"This
just soft
isn't a
cheat your
trap,"
opponent.
and yeah.
Yeah.
The perks of competitive play is that random cards don't get played.
Well, it's gonna be the new thing to play.
It's
now.
gonna get.
I feel
tagged.
like
at one event.
I don't know.
I'll
I
play-
feel like
I'll
that's
play it
one
in
of the
2
cards where you'd
years.
have to show.
2 years when I come back. I'll play it for you, Tam.
Or you can just play it in GOAT format.
Ooh.
That rule wasn't invented back then.
Well, there's also the other rule that a couple people I don't think have heard of was where the tournament organizer can choose how much time to have for the round. So if they're like,
What? Really?
yeah, they can, and it doesn't even have to be like per the entire event. It can just be like per round. They can be like, well, this one's just gonna be 45 minutes.
They're
So,
like,
it kind of
there's
goes
20-minute
around-
round dogs. It's like,
I don't
what?
know how drastically they would do it, or if they would even really do it at all. But it is like
I
something
feel
they
like
can do.
I feel like that rule is added for like Top Cut and like Grand Finals.
Yeah.
Probably because like the Grand Finals of Worlds was decided in time
It's just
with a
stupid.
Trickstar deck. So
They
like
used to not be
that's
like
like
that.
supposed to be the most important game of Yu-Gi-Oh this year.
At YCS Chicago, when they were playing out top four wasn't in time. And so
Yeah.
Calvin, Tahan, and then the guy that was playing, Dennis, it was like a 2-hour match.
Yeah, it was
Like,
insane.
because it was hella grindy, because one of them's playing ABC going second, one of them playing Thunder Dragon. So they're just like one for oneing each other the whole match, and it's just going to time. And then the game two
They
did
did
the
go to
exact same
time.
thing.
Yeah.
But,
And the finals are like, nope.
yeah, and then the finals roll around, they're like, it's in time now. And I was just like, how do you decide that? But, okay.
Because I remember from working at undergrad, there'd be just some times where like my phone would be buzzing across the room for the time in the round, and I'd be just be like across the room,
Nerdling.
and then I'd be like, I'd like notice it and be like, oh, time of the round. So I don't know. I feel like
Or they could go for the ARG rules. I don't know if we've talked about that before, where they like roll dice to see how long the rounds are. So that way, like the
And it's not revealed, right?
yeah,
That was
so
the
it's
main
random.
thing.
It's somewhere between 35 to 45 minutes, but you don't know.
oh my god,
I think that's
combo decks are so broken in that format because you roll low on the time in the round, and you're just like,
I
guess
just
my
like it
combo
'cause you
takes
can't
20
just, like-
minutes.
you can't just be like a shitty person. And be
Yeah.
like, look, 2 minutes left.
And I always
I
make
can't
it,
even do that anyway.
to be honest,
tried
even at
twice and
D-Layer,
it's
I make it a point to like sit looking at the clock now. Because they got the clock working again, which I felt like making it work again was a minus because now I sit on like one side of the table before Colin just had it on his
I never
computer,
have to get
and then
up.
it would just go off
when
randomly,
you
and then you're
perk.
just like, I guess we're in time.
Man, it's fine. It's like port priority. Like you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, because one of the things you could do is just ask them what the time is.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you're
And
not-
you could do that on the other
it-
side.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
And they'll
against the
lie.
rule. It's against in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's against the rules to lie, like to lie about what cards you like if they ask you what the defense of a specific monster's name is
That was
you would have to
public
say it.
knowledge.
Yeah, the way it is now is that every card just is public knowledge. So if you like ask,
What if
like,
you
to read
genuinely
a card,
don't know?
Yeah. If you ask to like read like a card, then like you can call over a judge and he'll
Oh,
be
they
like,
have
"He
that
won't
in
let me read
Magic.
it." Yeah, he
They
won't
have
let
that
me
in
read
Magic.
it, and then the judge will like bring it up for
Yeah.
me to read.
They have that in Magic. You can ask a judge for oracle text of a card because they have like so many different wordings of cards. So if someone played like, for example, Rescue Cat Flaming Eternity has like way less text than it does now because they added a bunch of things because they kept eroding it. So if someone played a Flaming Eternity one, the Flaming Eternity one says that their effects are not negated and they're like it's not once per turn. Like you can activate it as many times. So then you can ask oracle text and then the judge would be like, no, this is the actual text of the card.
Yeah, shit changes.
Okay, so if you guys were to adapt any tournament policies or change any tournament policies, what would you guys pick? Me personally, I think note taking is fine. I don't see a problem with note taking. Like, you're searching your deck for cool cards. I have like short-term memory loss sometimes. I want to remember that you have that cool card.
I agree. I think note taking's huge, and I think it doesn't hinder the gameplay. Or like, I think what they're afraid of is that it takes like a lot of time for people to write stuff down. But in
you
all
should have a piece
reality,
of paper already.
yeah, you have a like notepad doing life points already, so it should just be instant. Like it should be right there. And second of all, like it doesn't even take that much time because your opponent's shuffling their deck while you're writing down what card they searched, or et cetera, et cetera. Like,
And especially with like the Mind Crush rule, like now you don't get to see their hands. Like now you won't be writing down their entire hand.
yeah, like off cards that don't even do that.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a card like Confiscation where it's like look at your opponent's hand, discard a card, you're just like, okay. I get to look at your hand, write it out. Like we see that in Magic every single time, like with Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek. Like all the cards that say look at your opponent's hand, they do it, the opponent reveals the hand, and immediately they're just like note taking. Like they're like, what is your hand? Take that card. And then as you play them, you just cross them out. Like I feel like it just helps.
I played at one Magic tournament and I didn't know what any of his cards in his hand did. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to write this down? So I literally just like sat there and read all the cards in his hand and then like was like, cool looking Jin dude. And I was like, blows stuff up. Exiles.
Well, I'm
That's
always
how
a
I
fan
wrote
of
it.
like if someone sees a card or like I reveal my hand, I just keep it face up because like they know it and it's public knowledge that it's my hand, and so like I don't know. I feel like it's better just to play it face up because then I can just look at your hand at all times. Which in reality, it's better than me just looking at my notes constantly.
In the past, I wish note taking was allowed, so that because it was in my bubble match at YCS Chicago, he did Mind Crush on Denko Sekka. Then right after I showed him my hand, he saw that I had 2 Bryanak in it, so he did the second Mind Crush on Bryanak, and then the rest of the game, like I still tried to play. And he was just chanting my cards, the last 3 cards in my hand, and
That's just
and that was tilting me. But he was just like he's just chanting it so that he would remember it. But I wish he could have just wrote it down.
He's sitting there just like
It was a-
preparation of
yeah.
Rites Valkyris,
Yeah.
preparation of Rites Valkyris, and then as soon as he sees his card, he like knocks it off of his
Yeah.
chant. He's just like Valkyris,
Yeah.
Valkyris.
Yeah, I'm just like
no,
oh,
but then
God.
you add 2 cards off preparation and you're like, Mirror, Colossalus, Valkyris, Mirror, Colossalus, Valkyris. And he just keeps going. And then you're like, Colossalus for cycle. And you're like, Mirror, cycle.
It was tilting.
That'd be crazy.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
add it to
started.
my list of Elijah things to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel like Konami always makes decisions based off of how long tournaments want, like how long they want tournaments to be. They're like, we don't want them to be too long, so we'll change the time rules. And you're like, these time rules are garbage. And they're like, but you're getting out at 5 o'clock. You're like, okay.
Yeah. At least I have somewhat of my Saturday left after I had a disappointing tournament experience.
At least I'm not driving home from the regional at 9 in the night, and then I got a 3-hour drive home. It's like, okay, we're getting off at 6. Get home at 8. Not bad.
So would you guys adapt
I was
Any
thinking of
tournament
a
policies?
new one. I think instead of draws, they should either have a double loss or you can pay $100 to get a win.
Interesting.
I feel like
And it's just like double loss, so it just gets the tournament through faster. You're just like, and then people are like, I don't want to pay $100 to get this win. So like people are incentivized to play faster.
And
Yeah,
I've definitely
yeah.
tried to like time somebody out for a draw when I knew I was gonna lose because I was like, maybe
Well,
I
that's
can get
$100.
maybe
now.
I can get one more point.
yeah,
Instead
the
of
point
no
system.
point.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like the 3 point for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 points for a loss.
Yeah.
Because at locals, it's 4 rounds usually at our locals, and if someone draws and then wins 3, it just
Well, now
It
you can just
sucks.
pay $100 and not have to draw.
Colin
and
would
it
love
goes
that.
straight to the store.
But I just feel like maybe at a local level, we should just get rid of ties. Like they just ruin it. Like it's so terrible. And then people
I
like,
agree.
and
or
then
they can
it,
call it the scissors rule, and then you just like cut someone's card in half.
well, and it
when they
just
draw.
disincentivizes people that like, if I get paired up with you at a YCS, I'm just like, hey, let's draw.
Whoa! You can't be talking that shit. I'm gonna get you banned.
The main problem with like with what we're talking about in relation to Dragon's Lair is that they don't do top cut. It's just the Swiss.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's top cut, then you would still be incentivized to play in the tournament because you still could win it. But I see what you're saying because there's no top cut. You're just like, why should I even sit down 2 more rounds after I've lost? Because
Yeah.
I can only get.
I feel that way every time I
Second,
play a
third, fourth.
D-layer. Or if like one of the matches draws and then I start calculating it, I'm like, one of them is gonna win the tournament no matter what, even if they like one of them is they're gonna be paired up against each other eventually, and then blah blah blah, and then I've done the math so many times. I'm just like, oh, I can't even win. Like, I'm like, oh, the pair down has to lose every round. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they will.
Mm.
So, Michael, how would you change the rules?
You said no taking.
Oh,
I-
yeah, that's
yeah, I was
right.
notating.
forgot.
I said
Yeah.
no ties. I
What
agree
about
with that.
my boy Marasco?
Mine is like super subjective. I wish that there's like different kinds of judges, the end of time judges, and like that somehow they were able to record your whole game and they just played it really fast in 2 minutes, and he just decides who was playing cooler, and that's how it was decided in time.
Style points.
Yeah,
Interesting.
And
but
based on, like,
it's not feasible.
the-
but that's
the way
what
you
I would
flick
want.
your cards when you play them. You're like, whoosh.
Yeah, I just
I feel
I
like
just
a better system for judging is a better thing too.
that comes down to how I wish Yu-Gi-Oh was like how you won anyway.
Or there's
Is
like
it
a
if you
point
just did
system
the cooler
outside, like
thing.
wrestling.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
In My Hero Academia, they all just like fought the robots, but then there was rescue points. The like, you should still get in.
But I feel like what you're saying is right, where it's like we need better like ways for people to become judges, because nowadays I feel like it's just like, oh, I judged some local tournaments and then I judged a couple regionals and then now I'm at a YCS judging. Like, what test did you take? They're like, none. You're like, oh, like so it's all based off of what you think you know.
I took the
That's why I
same
like
one that
it when-
everyone else did.
That's why I like it when Richard's the head judge, because you're like, I'm appealing to someone I know who
Yeah.
knows about Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's like at the YCS Chicago, Richard was the head judge of the side events tournament, so I appealed every judge call because I knew it was Richard as the head judge. So I was just like, just grab Richard. I'm appealing. They're like, what? I'm
yeah,
like,
he makes bad rulings for me.
I'm like,
No,
just grab
no.
Richard,
I'm
please.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm like, just grab Richard, and then like, it turns out I'm right, and then I'm like, nice.
All right, so yeah, new tournament policies, and
Yeah, if you guys in the comments section down below think you have any ideas of what you would want to do, let us know. I would love to read them personally.
No, he
And based
doesn't.
on that note, we'll see you in the next topic.
stay classy.
No, we won't.